When we are talking about the media and corruption, it is needed to emphasize the huge role that media has in the prevention and the fight of corruption. Many of the criminal procedures are started after the media started to write about that. And therefore, it is important for the media that they do their job in the field of discovering and writing about anything that could be perceived as corruption. But that must be done in a way that is not only material, but also perceived as to be impartial, independent, and professional. That's why I'd like to emphasize that investigative journalism, which is of course very important, must be not only independent and impartial, but also professional. So the persons who write about it must know the subject. In that respect, the media will serve as a watchdog of democracy. But of course, when we are talking about watchdogs, we all know that the dog will not bark or will not bite the hand that feeds him. And in that respect, it is very important that media must be independent and impartial. And of course, this is very hard to achieve, especially nowadays, when we have a private media and when we have allegations that the owner of the media is actually the controller of the information, and it is very often biased in the sense of be affiliated to some political party. And in that respect, it is really important to have independent media. Now, when we are talking about the ownership of the media and the editors and the journalists, my personal experience is that I spoke with several journalists several times that they told me that they have information about something, but the editor will not print that, and the owner will not allow to print that. In some other cases, I heard about allegations where you can buy an article for a certain amount of money. And that is something that is disturbing. That is something that is not acceptable. And that is something that we have to work on it to avoid it, because the huge impact of the media has on the public. Because in many cases, if not all, but in many cases, the media is forming the public opinion. And the media is let's say, the tool how to use or where to go with some of the subject. In that sense, we are coming to the issue who is writing. So if you have an honest and a person and a journalist with integrity and credibility, then of course it's much easier to have independent and impartial journalism than in the other case. Some people could also compare journalists and the judges, because there is a requirement, especially for the judges, also to be independent and impartial. And the same thing is with the journalist, especially because of the journalist, because there is much more freedom in the journalism than in judiciary. As you know, the judges must follow the facts that are in the case. Okay? And they are not supposed to investigate very much if we come to the trial. But the investigative journalism, you can publish certain things or certain facts that is not that the judge will never say, or the judge will never, or any other judicial officer will not say. And there is another area that is also relevant to the media, and that is ownership of the media, which I mentioned that already. Who is an owner? and to see where that person or those persons are affiliated with what kind of the political option. The media are part of the society, and unfortunately there is no society without corruption. It is like a flu or like a cold, you know. In every country you have it. The matter is how you are preventing or how you are dealing with that when this occurs. If you have a society that has no cure, then of course it's a problem. But every society today, especially in regarding of the Council of Europe, are striving to reach this level of corruption that is, let's say, tolerable. And we are, of course, trying to promote, and we are trying to achieve the politics of the zero tolerance to the corruption. The media must be part of that in fighting and prevention of corruption, but media are not immune to the corruption, because in media are working, the people who are working in media are people, are humans. And of course, there is no human that you can put, as we said, arm in the fire that is, perfect. So everybody must be aware of that, and therefore the role of the media and everything what is happening regarding the media must be, and I will not use that word that is very important and very popular, transparent. That is not only the source of the money that is flowing around the media, but also the way of the writing. The only thing that shouldn't be transparent in the media is the source of the